I would like to call to order the legislative meeting of Aleppo Township of July 20th, 2026, and would ask that you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
President Luca,
Here.
Vice President Williams,
Here.
Commissioner Jones,
Present.
Commissioner Michael,
Present.
Commissioner Amatucci,
Present.
Solicitor George,
Present.
and Manager Patterson.
I would like to remind everyone that our meetings are both recorded and streamed live. They remain on YouTube for all eternity. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our workshop meeting of July
I move to
13th.
approve the
I
July
second.
13, 2026 workshop meeting minutes.
And I second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor, please respond with aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Chief, we would love to have the police department report.
All right, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, for the month of June, we had a total of 72 calls. Of course, that included 36 EMS calls, most over here in the Summit Village. We had one abandoned vehicle at Northway Christian that was dealt with, one fraud complaint of somebody opening up credit card information in the person's name, that was taken care of. Identity theft issue, also same kind of variation of things like that. It happens. Doing a credit history check always helps in your background, keeping in with each major credit bureaus. We did have one arrest for a domestic situation that was dealt with. And other than that, nothing else to report. They are calling for big storms tomorrow night, so be mindful of that. Be careful with wires down, trees down, so if you're traveling. Any questions or concerns from there?
No, sir? Anything for us?
Nothing? Ready?
Have a good night.
All right.
Stay
Thank you very
safe,
much.
Chief.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see Chief Bill Davis here from the fire department.
Good evening, everyone.
Evening.
Some reading material for everybody.
Thanks, sir.
I'll go over all the stuff.
Wow.
After I take your stuff.
Careful.
Now he's burning stuff. Okay. First, I want to apologize for coming in July's meeting to give you a year-end report for 2025.
You're fine.
We've been kind of busy. Monday nights are tough for us, just because it's our training night with the fire company, so figure I'll give up the training night tonight to come here, hope to catch up with you guys. What I presented to you tonight is a report for 2025, and there's 3 staple packets. I'll just go over them briefly with you. If there's any questions, anything pops out, please ask. I'll do my best to answer it. The first staple package is an incident count. First page is all zones. So this is for our fire reporting system. I told you before, it's broke down into 2 districts, Aleppo Township and Swickley Heights. So the first page reflects both zones. The second page stapled that highlighted in orange is just Aleppo's calls. Now, one thing to keep in mind with Aleppo's calls are everything in Aleppo Township, but also mutual aid. We go out of town. That all falls under Aleppo Township. So when you see the report 167 in red, that's not the calls for Aleppo. It's actually less than that.
Do you know how many were mutual aid, Bill? If it's not in your head, don't look for it.
Last year, Aleppo ran 239 calls, 74 in Swickley Heights, 48 in Aleppo Township, and 117 were mutual aid. So we assist outside of our boundaries. That's anywhere from Bellevue to Ambridge. We have a couple distance ones. We went to North Fayette, Marshall Township, Moon Township, Lee Township. I'll give you all the breakdown of those. They said the first page gives you just an overall of the incident count, response times. You'll see we did run a couple of EMS calls with Valley. They call us when they need assistance with either lifting assist or the use of our UTV. The second stapled packet, it's 2 pages. This is the NFPA coding system, and it's 2 pages. First page is basically Aleppo, and you can see the 3-digit coding system on the side. That's the 3-digit coding system for NFP. When we log in reports, that's what it goes under. So it goes up. Everybody, all the fire companies enter the same coding system. So you can see that Aleppo had 167. Like I said, that's out of town and also mutual aid. And then the third stapled packet is 7 pages long, and that's a list of all the calls. Numerical order from 1 to 239. One thing you'll notice on this, and I'll get into this later on the report, is you look into incident type, that's what we were dispatched for. A lot of our reporting system, it's what you're dispatched for, then actions taken once we get on scene. Because a lot of times, they'll call it in as a structure fire, and we get there and it's a smoke alarm. So a lot of them you're going to see on here, dispatched and canceled and route. That's over, I think, 70% of our calls. And like I said, I'll explain that later on. But like I said, if anything jumps out at any of the calls, I'll gladly discuss it. Most of the calls I was on. So just for the year end, like I said, 239 calls, 48 of them were in Aleppo Township, and that consists of residential, commercial, and the interstate. If there's any accidents in the interstate, it goes under Aleppo. 117 mutual aid, and of the 117, 25 to Swickley, 27 to High Township, 27 to Emsworth, 10 to Neville, 10 to Leetsdale, 12 to Bell Acres, 2 in Avalon. Lee Township was 2, Moon Township was 2, North Fayette 1, and Marshall 1. So as you can see, we're doing a lot of mutual aid just because of lack of people. I mean, there's a lot of companies out there, and we're no different. Everybody's struggling.
Just
We've been
how
fortunate.
many, just, and I don't need an exact number, a feel, how much of that when you get there are you actually working? Or,
Not too many.
that's what I thought.
If you look at the one called I don't know if I printed that one, but the number of fire incidents, like our losses are 0 because we didn't have anything in Aleppo or Swickley Heights. But if you go out of town, you know, there's a lot of stuff when we go out of town. It's either for structure fires or we get canceled in route. And
That's what I thought.
yeah. Last year, 2024 was 209 calls. 2023 was 227 calls. So you can see everything's progressing. We're running more and more calls. On this date, last year we were at 116 calls. We just did 179 yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So-
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that number.
179.
Wow.
The
Thank
call
you.
volume has increased, and a lot of it is people are short on staff.
Mutual
short on
aid.
staffing.
Yeah.
We did participate in the, we've seen on the news of the Edgeworth fire last week. There's 26 fire companies.
Jeez.
And the problem is, the fire companies are showing up, they're showing up with
Responding with 2 people.
2 guys, 3 guys. And it got to the point where when they were calling for mutual aid companies, one of the incident commanders on scene told our dispatch, if the mutual aid fire companies do not call in service with interior firefighters, don't bring them, because we don't need them. We don't need equipment. There was trucks parked a block
Leave
and
the
a
truck,
half.
bring the guys. Yeah.
Yeah, a block and a half away. Our UTV Ranger went, and that's all he did, the whole call was transport
Shuttled
people.
fire departments.
Because it was in a remote area off of Chestnut Road in Edgeworth, which was a real long driveway. Well, the road's narrow, so once the first 4 or 5 trucks were committed to the driveway, there was no place to put vehicles. And at that point, you don't need more fire vehicles, you need personnel.
Right.
So it's becoming more of an issue with volunteerism. Volunteerism is not there today.
So we haven't needed mutual aid to fight in Aleppo at all.
Luckily, because we haven't had any events. We've had our fair share of little stuff. We had one 2 weeks ago that luckily the homeowner wasn't home, we would have a different outcome. It came in as a commercial structure fire, and it was in their office, and it was on fire. And luckily, the homeowner and their caretaker never used a fire extinguisher before in their life, read the directions, pulled the pin, and put the fire out.
Oh, my.
And we got there, and it was just a matter of us cleaning up and ventilation. And I said, if you weren't home, we would be.
You'd have lost the structure.
Yeah, we would have been there for a lot longer. It's been a different outcome, so. Great to them. I actually offered both of them an application. We carry them in the truck, so they both graciously denied. But anyway, we're still holding our own as far as members. We're 28 members. We have 22 active guys. That doesn't mean that we have 22 guys who show up all the time. We outfit 22 guys, and we have 6 retired guys, life members that aren't active. They put their 20 years in. They're elderly. They'll come around once in a while, but they're not permitted to go on their truck or come to an active scene. We did receive the grant for 2025 through the PA grant we apply for every year. They always say, apply for up to 20,000. And every year we get between 12 and 13. We got 13.9 last year. We don't know what we do wrong. Our treasurer's actually reached out to the fire commissioner's office and said, why do you tell us to max out at 20 to 22 grand and you only give us 13? So we still haven't got a clear answer on it. And that's been going on for years. So we take advantage of every grant application that comes across to try to get equipment, because it's getting harder and harder every year. That's about it for 2025. Really uneventful. So far this year, like I said, we're up to 179 calls. 62 of them have been in Swickley Heights, 39 in Aleppo, and 77 out of town, Detroit. I did not come to the meeting after the board voted to take care of our siren controller, which we are very happy that we weren't expecting the full amount to be taken on by the township, but greatly appreciated. The controller is in. They came 2 weeks ago to install it, and they were missing a 12 volt to 120 volt relay. So that is now ordered. I have not heard from Chris, the guy, the gentleman installing it. So he said everything's done. All the programming's done, just a matter of actually putting it in the station, hooking it up. So I look for that. It doesn't take that long, unless they're going to blame that on COVID as well. Hopefully we'll get that in the next couple of weeks. And really that's it. We have started some preliminary talks with High Township Fire Company about looking into a merger between our two companies. What the benefits are, what's the best for the community. I know there's some talks, and they're actually going through with it right now, some companies in Quaker Valley.
Yep.
I hope it works out. I don't think it was just a right fit for us at that time. So we're kind of structured the same way as a High Township. We're private, basically private contractors. We're structured the same. So we met once so far and had a couple of email trails going back and forth on what our goals are and what we'd like to see in like a 3-year period, a 5-year period, 10-year period. And the biggest thing is the volunteers. What can we do to put people and pay people at the station? You could see on the first packet that I gave you, response times. For average response time from dispatch to arrival, we're averaging 10 minutes. We should be 6 to 8. I'm sorry, we should be out the door at 6 to 8. We're from turnout time from dispatch to en route, we're 3 minutes, a little over 3.5 minutes, which is pretty good for a volunteer fire company. By the standards for being paid, you should be out the door in 30 to 60 seconds. So that means everything to us in the fire world. The quicker you can get there, everybody says, oh, fire trucks are flying down the road. Well, you gotta understand, if there's smoke or fire in the building, every second counts. With today's construction you don't get the chances like you had 20 years ago. I mean, you're seeing flashovers in 5 to 7 minutes.
I just showed a video at Masonic of a flashover that occurred in 5.5 minutes.
So, you know, years ago, you could see a flash in 15 to 20 minutes. Well, you had guys there that were able to get in and start initial attack. We don't see that today. So with the newer construction, new lightweight construction, all these synthetics, you know, they say that, you know, this building's concrete. Well, everything you put in this building is synthetic. These tables, these chairs, that's what kills you. So the talks, I don't know what they're doing down in the other area where they're talking merger, but our main concern is what we can do to put people on staff, not a full staff. Start out small, you know, try to get 2 people on an engine. They can answer your bread and butter calls, and then also, you know, support the rest of them with volunteers, the guys who want to volunteer. It's pretty hard to get people to volunteer today because of all the requirements of training. But that's really all I had. Uneventful year for us, which is good. We like that.
Thank you, Bull.
If there's anything,
What are the main reasons for the dispatch and cancel?
No fire,
yeah,
no accident.
no fire, okay? We're seeing this not so much, well, not in Aleppo because we're on the old run card system. We still, like first alarm is just Aleppo. If the new county rules are, they want you to load your first alarm assignment with 4 engines, 2 ladder trucks, and a rescue, regardless of the nature of the call. If it comes in as fire or smoke, well, they're using that as a residential fire alarm or a CO alarm. If you can't handle a CO alarm or an automatic fire alarm, residential fire alarm, you maybe should think about doing something else. Because, I mean, what's it take to go and check somebody's house for a CO alarm? So a lot of the dispatch and cancel you'll see is out of town. We'll get halfway down Glen Mitchell Road, we're going to the North Boroughs. We get on a boulevard, cancel us. Well, they already have 5 companies coming for a residential fire alarm. Well, they're canceling us because one of their chief officers get on scene and said, oh, just that somebody changed the smoke detector battery. But they still dispatch us. So it still generates an incident number for us, and it's becoming a problem.
It's a big number.
It's a big number, but the guys that are at home laying in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know you're gonna get dressed, get to the station and get a quarter mile down the road.
Get canceled.
So it's not good for,
It also creates a dispatch fatigue.
I
You don't bother to get up because you get canceled every time you get called.
I completely disagree with the county's theory on it. Their take is, we did our job. We sent the resources to the call. That's their take. Well, it's killing us as a volunteer organizations because nobody wants to do it. But it's a battle for us, and we'll overcome it. We've overcome a lot worse. So
How do you recruit people? How do you recruit volunteers?
we really don't recruit people come to us. I mean, we've been fortunate. People move into the area. Our requirements, you have to live within a 5-mile radius of the fire station. So we pull people from, we have a couple from Fair Oaks, a couple from Bleetsdale, we have one from Moon. I actually live in Franklin Park, so I mean, I'm close to it. I'm a Franklin Park, Bell Acres line, but we've been fortunate. We have 5 young guys that are under the age of 20. We're probably one of the youngest ones in Quaker Valley that have that. They're able, because they're just, you know, family members. So the recruiting, I guess, it really has never been a problem for us. It's the retaining of them, the retention.
It's retaining them?
Yeah.
So there's
Because
turnover.
Yeah. So you could come in and, hey, I want to volunteer my time. I want to do what I can do. That's great.
Costs a lot of money.
Here's the requirements for you. You have, within 1 year, you have to have 188 hours of training to become an interior firefighter. That gives you just the ability to go into a structure. 188 hours on your own time, every Saturday for I forget how many weeks now. And if you can't make the Saturdays, it's 2 nights a week during the week. People don't want to hear that. I got families. I'm working 2 jobs. I got kids at home. I got ball games. It's tough. You know, when I did mine in 1986, it was 88 hours. and it was a Saturday, 11 weeks. Now, it's 188, and that's just entry level. You know, we require you, in order to be a driver in our company, you have to be pump operator certified, EVOC certified, which is an emergency vehicle course that you have to take. And if you take it if you want to be certified in the ladder truck, you got to take the ladder truck. You want to be certified in the engine, you got to take another class for the engine.
And you have to recertify it.
Yeah, so, you know, there's 16, I think one's 16, one's 24. Then the ladder truck, you have to have 3 certifications in order to drive that truck.
Mhm.
So when do people find time to do that? And that's just to drive the equipment, and let alone being, you'll see a lot of fire companies now are requiring you to be firefighter 1 certified to be an active firefighter. If you don't have your firefighter 1, they won't accept you. And that's like the next level after your essentials. It goes in tiers. You have your essentials, which is basically the essentials of firefighting. Firefighter 1, firefighter 2, and then so on. I mean, the list goes on for all the different classes you can take. And, like again, it's on your own time.
What would you, excuse me, my voice, what would you consider fully staffed?
Fully staffed is, if our engine is 6 personnel, ladder truck's 4, we call that fully staffed if it goes out the door and it's fully staffed.
Or do you mean fully staffed,
I mean,
full-time
as-
people?
As a department, you said.
He means
20
full-time at the station.
Yeah, at the
Phil.
station, so you have 22 active, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's 22 which we call active,
Right.
that we outfit with interior gear, full gear, air pack, stuff like that. And we have 28 on the roster right now. We lost 2 last year. So 22, out of that 22, it depends on the time of the day, nature of the call.
No, he's saying how many people would make you feel like you had enough firefighters, you were fully staffed? That's what he's asking.
Thank you.
Be able to fill both trucks.
Yeah, there is no answer. The fire department is never fully staffed. They'll take as many people as they can possibly get.
No, Mount Lebanon would not say that. Mount Lebanon's turning people away. I mean, they have a limit, right, of how
Mount
many
Lebanon
folks.
also pays with people.
They
Pay
both.
per call.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have both.
Yeah.
Right, and
That's why.
that's
That's-
not, it's not gonna, they have both. I just was wondering how you feel
Yeah.
about, you know,
No, what he's saying is Mount Lebanon pays their volunteers per call.
Yeah, they're paid, they're
Yes,
a combination.
absolutely.
They're paid firefighters, and then they supplement their force with volunteers, but they're stipend.
They have a stipend for their volunteer
which
responders.
is
Yeah.
fine, but I'm not talking about paying them as
Yeah.
a reason why. I'm just wondering total body count, like
Yeah.
if you felt like 22 or.
If our 22, if we can count on our 22 being there every call, I would be tickled.
Got it.
Because I feel we would never have an incident. Knock on wood, we haven't had any, because the people we have, I can pull names out and tell you, I would rely on them 100% of doing the job.
Got it.
We had talked about trying to pay our people per call, but we gotta look into what the costs are, because in today's society, money drives everything. You don't get people to volunteer, but if I can give you $10 a call, you're gonna see our numbers come up.
Yeah.
Just and
Yeah,
swiftly.
we talked about that last year
Yeah.
in depth, and it
Yeah.
doesn't work because you have to define call and you have to define response, and
So there's a difference between rostered and call participation rates, right?
Yes.
Got it.
Just for instance, just for money's sake, Swickley does it. They pay their guys,
Yep.
and their guys, they might get a check for $300-400 every month, depending, because they pay them per call. So, you know, they're upwards of probably 500 calls so far this year. And if you're down there and you're participating, that $10 a call means something. You know, and that's something I think that would really benefit us if that's something we could do to give back to our guys. But right now, our budgets won't allow. We got an increase in our last contract, which was great, but it still doesn't do enough to support that.
Do you feel like you're generating enough money from the community, for individual donations?
Absolutely not.
It's a big opportunity.
I don't have those exact numbers, but I can tell you, our treasurer, I believe it's 33% return. It's less than $50 a person. And we get odd numbers, like somebody will write a check for $13.22. Yeah, whatever. And then there's, I don't know, I personally don't know what people give. There's only one person in our company knows what the return is through municipal marketing. Timmy's our president, he doesn't even know. So we keep that under lock and key through our treasurer. But he does say, he gives us a report every year that says this is how many residential. We receive nothing from the industrial park, which is criminal.
Oh,
It's criminal. If it wasn't for the minus years ago, minus the Masonic campus, but years ago, before the Masonic was here, our pump capacity required us to have 2 trucks for pump capacity, and the industrial park never paid a dime. And we've approached the industrial park. We've approached the tenants. The tenants say, hey, look, whoa, we pay an absorbent amount of rent here. You go to the landowners. And the landowners say, oh no, you're protecting their property, their content in the building, so you go to them. So
what about our tank guys over there? Guys that are sitting over there with all those tanks.
Yeah, that's fun. I thank the township for putting that in right next to us.
Yeah, but they're not contributing.
No. Everybody asks me, what kind of steps are you gonna take if something happens at Lindy Gas?
Run.
Big steps. The opposite way.
Yep.
But, I mean, what else are you gonna do?
Thank you, Bull.
Yes, it would be nice at some point that, that we can able to prepare people and then have people on staff. You'd see response times go down, insurance rates would go down. Our ISO rating right now, I believe, is a 5. Paid people out the door in 30 to 60 seconds. That's a huge number on your ISO rating. On scene times. But if anybody reads reports and anything jumps out, please let me know. We'll do my best.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Stay safe.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Do we have anything from Public Works? Sir?
You all got copies of the report. Obviously, it's been a lot of tree cutting. Between the fire department and us, a lot of tree cutting. We've had to patch quite a few potholes. We had to close up School Street at one point to clean up the brush on School Street from several trees that fell. Other than that, not a lot. Any questions?
We're good. As always, thank you, Tim. Emergency Management has no report. And Communications. We have gotten, you know what, let's table it until we go start talking about the fireworks. Or do you want me to do it now? I'll do it now. We asked for input at our workshop meeting. We had an in-depth discussion about fireworks in the community, what we were able to do, what we weren't. We had a citizen here who had concerns about a large fireworks display in the neighborhood. Anna had investigated for us what we could do, what we couldn't. We discovered that we're kind of severely limited by law what we can restrict and what we can't restrict. And mostly we can restrict the use of commercial or display level fireworks. And so we wanted to get some, as we always do, I asked for something that showed that this was an issue for more than just the presenter, that it was actually a township-wide issue. So we asked for some feedback from the community. We got, I believe, 6 back. And as a result of that, of course, we ended up with 3 on each side. We ended up with 3, no, do not restrict the use of fireworks at all. And we ended up with 2 that said, yes, definitely restrict them. And we ended up with 1 that was in the middle that said, yes, restrict them, but only to say whether they're firing off commercial or private. So we will wait until we hear from, my view is we need to table it until we hear from the citizen that brought it to our attention, who was going to attempt to generate some support within the community for the subject, and then we'll have further discussion. Any questions or discussion on that topic?
Well, with Chief here, do you have an opinion?
It doesn't matter to me. I'll just tell you, Swickley Heights adopted an ordinance that requires the fire company to be notified and on scene.
And that's for ACC, right?
In the event of a commercial
Yes.
display, and we do it,
Yes.
we've done it in private, we've done it in private homes, we do a lot of it in the country.
But that's commercial, you don't do anything for private display, right? Because the reason I'm saying that is because commercial is already not legal to be fired off at a residence. So by state law, you can't fire commercial unless you do a whole bunch of things. So this,
We respond, I mean, there's people who apply for permits.
no, but that's what I'm saying. What they're saying is they want us to apply for permits to fire off non-commercial, non-display level fireworks. That she was requesting that we have an ordinance requiring permitting, et cetera, for regular fireworks. The other thing that I didn't think about in that discussion, Anna, that I'm actually just thinking about as I'm verbalizing that, is that that residential firework, that non-commercial firework would go all the way down to, I don't know what they define. Are we gonna get the little old lady putting sparklers off with her grandkid? Are we gonna get the little, like, what's a firework?
Yeah, there is, and I don't have my memo from 2022 identifies it, but like firecrackers or sparklers, not included in the definition of
Okay.
the lower level. Apologies, I think it's consumer.
They're listed as different classifications
Yeah.
on the size of the.
I know there's only two classifications that
Yeah.
matter, restriction-wise or ordinance-wise, and one is display commercial and one is non-display commercial, so.
No, it does not. It does not include
Okay.
your tiny little poppers and things like that. Yeah.
Okay, so I say we table it until she brings back the information that we requested, and then we bring it up for further discussion. Planning and zoning. Clayton, sir, our tax collector treasurer.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
You should all have in your packet June 2026 report with everything in there. We ended up collecting a grand total of $61,799.63 in total taxes for the month of June. Your pages 3 and 4 of the report compare June 2026 to June 2025. And then to the actual budget amount, you can see 25 to its budget at this current year-to-date numbers, 2026 as well with any of that. As you can kind of see, we are doing quite well since we're already 6 months into the year. So moving along with that, certain numbers will now start dropping off with collections and things like that. If you have any questions, let me know. As far as our account ending balances, our PNC checking account currently has $752,794.26. That's our operating fund. And then our investments, the state fund, which is the liquid fuels, basically pays for salt during the winter, $72,538.67. Our general investment has $1,985,488.23. Our reserve fund has $134,788.06. And then our capital improvement has $1,137,599.86. Add that all up, take out the pledged and the targeted funds, our net operating funds for the month of June is $2,738,282.49. Our sewer bond account is also listed there at $890,316.11, and the stormwater account has $130,925.40. Any questions, concerns?
Thank
Can
you.
I just add one thing?
Absolutely.
The audit, I told you this,
Yes.
but it's part, like here, the audit is almost complete, the 2025 audit. Our auditor was here last week doing some final stuff. He's waiting for one report from our pension company, and then he should be ready to present. It's really almost
Super.
close to finished.
Perfect. Thank you all.
I would entertain a motion to approve the June bill list.
I move to approve the June bill list in the amount of $35,042.50, to ratify June prepaid bills in the amount of $6,379, to ratify June online payments in the amount of $5,599.50, $520.94, and ratify June payroll transfers in the amount of $19,129.82.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Aleppo Township Authority.
No report.
Quaker Valley Ambulance Authority. We had a discussion at our workshop meeting in regard to supporting the onboarding of a CERT dog, which is a critical incident response team member that Valley is bringing on board. It's one of very few dogs who are going to be trained to sense cortisol. And so it's going to be used to de-escalate EMS, fire, and police response, as well as de-escalate incident scenes, victims, et cetera. It's also going to be used for outreach. He joined us 2 weeks ago, I guess, so Goose is on board. George discussed the possibility of, there's an $18,000 deficit in cost, and so George recommended that we do $1,500, which is the $18,000 divided by the number of communities served on the Quaker Valley side by Quaker Valley Ambulance. So I would entertain a motion to support Goose, our CERT dog, in the amount of $1,500.
So moved.
Moved by Art, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Good idea.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Quaker Valley COG, Mr. Art.
Don't have anything. I didn't get a chance to present them with what I wanted to do about the dog. But keeping in mind, I'll meet them a day after tomorrow.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I did do, as you know, I did a fire safety lecture at Masonic the other day, and we talked about the dog over there as well. So he's going to go visit Masonic as soon as he gets his little service dog thing going on. So we're going to take him over there.
What is the thing with
Just to-
cortisol again? I know.
Cortisol is the hormone that's extracted in response to stress. And so they did this huge study, people who are about to escalate, the first thing they do is release a ton of cortisol. So it's a stress hormone that you also get, the only example, because it's from my billywhack that I can come up with, is, the medic that has a horrible call with, a child in arrest or a horrible call or whatever, and is, I'm fine, I don't need anything, I'm fine, I'm always fine, ha ha ha, dead baby, no big deal, and then has a horrendous response to the situation. They would be walking around with horrendous cortisol levels, and the dog would be able to sense that and intervene. So there's a lot of good studies that's why they use dogs at cancer centers, for example. I'll be going with someone for chemo tomorrow, and there'll be 2 dogs walking around the cancer center because it de-escalates, it de-stresses. And so he'll be used specifically. There's already a critical incident response team that responds to fire departments, EMS agencies, police departments following horrendous calls to help responders deal with a whole bunch of stuff. I was actually involved in the beginning of that. It was a result of, remember when the plane went down in the Potomac many years ago?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They lost almost 30% of their responders in that area because just of the horrendous trying to reach people and dropping them and not being able to get them out of the water and all those horrendous kind of things, which is the first time they recognized the need for critical incident debriefing. So they're onboarding Goose as a critical incident debriefing dog. So it's kind of a cool kind of thing.
Well, just a comment, you did a wonderful job. Just the right amount of lightheartedness but there was a lot of seriousness.
And we had a lot of questions. We had 73 people show up.
That's a
And,
good crowd, yeah.
That's a good crowd.
Masonic, your
And
fire safety?
I was told that we had 21 people on 956, which is our internal TV systems. So that would be a significant turnout, in my opinion.
Nice.
I have one thing to add for the COG, is that the committee, it's not necessarily at the board level yet, and I'm not on this committee, but there is a committee that is working on the new waste contract, the new trash and recycling contract, because our contract with Waste Management ends this year. And so they have a consultant.
Sit in calendar year, obviously.
Who's working with them to help draft the new contract, because they're aware that the market has changed. There's talk that maybe we might end up having to go based on what the different vendors are gonna bid, possibly to a limit to the amount of trash you can put out per week, maybe 1 can or 2 can. So there may be some changes coming to the way trash is allowed to be put out, allowed to be collected, as well as changes to the cost. So I will keep you all informed.
I always find that
Articles
interesting
informed.
because I'm never sure what to tell people to do with their extra trash.
Like
There's a
right
couple
now-
there's a couple communities that are limited.
Yes.
Not us, but
A
I'm
lot of
always
times when
curious
have
what
the
they,
automated ones, they are limited. The
yeah, I'm
automated
just
stuff
curious
that
what
come
they
up,
tell people to do with your extra trash.
You don't get to put it out on those, in those
Then what do you
communities
do
that are
with it?
limited. You just keep it till the next time when you don't have as much. I live in a limited community and you can't put out, you have a trash can, and if it's full, you have to buy a second trash can for $100 a year. And buy that and put it out, and if you have a third can of trash, ask your neighbor if you can share space in their can. Like, you just can't pile a bunch of stuff on the curb.
Can you see us at the manor? We're gonna all be running our garbage cans,
It's-
leaving it out behind our neighbor's houses.
It requires some adjustment to habits when those changes come. We're not sure if they're coming to us or not. So, but it's stuff that's on the table, so.
I was
will
just
keep you
always curious what they
informed.
tell you to do with your, garbage is garbage, you can't keep it.
Don't have it. Produce less, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, so we'll keep you informed as it goes out, because the consultant's gonna recommend what we can ask for, the COG can ask for in the contract, and then they're gonna let us know what we think we can expect, number of bidders, that kind of thing, so. It's gonna be a different year, I think.
Fun. Thanks, George. Miss Solicitor.
I do not have anything to report unless there is anything I can answer for you all.
I wasn't here last time. What's going on with the police contract?
So we've had a little bit of radio silence, and I was going to try to grab the chief before he left. I think there's been a little bit of a shakeup, but we're waiting to hear back, and if we don't, we'll push things a little bit further on our end.
Okay. Thank you.
We had asked at, not the workshop meeting, but the prior legislative meeting, if anybody had ideas in ways to celebrate Aleppo's birthday this year. I believe it is our 100th, am I right? Our 105th, we're much older than I thought we were. Bunch of old people. Our 150th birthday, and everybody was gonna go home with a homework assignment to come up with some ideas. Has anybody come up with any ideas?
Hold down the applause.
I guess we have two categories that I'd like you to think about then. Either something commemorative, like a commemorative coin, kind of like a challenge coin kind of thing, or some other thing, or a small event that we would invite the neighborhood to, like a touch a truck kind of event.
A what truck?
Like a touch a truck where you bring, a much smaller thing than Bull does. Bull has a huge open house with the fire department where everybody comes and does whatever. But we could do maybe, some hamburgers and hot dogs on a grill and have a fire truck and an ambulance or something and say hello to people.
We could bring the big boy back. No?
Think about it, because we've got to get something kind of going in place, because if it was an event, we would do it in the fall. If it was something, then we would need something. We would need to start working on whatever that thing might be. So I think we should do something. We should do something to recognize that Gwen's been running this township for 150 years. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Feels like.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to recognize, that's a significant thing. So we have to recognize it in some way. So kind of come up with some idea, some way to do that. Okay, do we have any new business? Do we have any citizen participation? Do we have a need for an executive session?
You do not.
Anything else anybody would want to say? Questions, comments, sarcastic remarks?
I have a question. I remember that we were renegotiating the salt contract, and that was supposed to be,
So the salt contract was up because we had that's done through SHACOG, which is the South Hills Area Council of Governments. And we participate in that. A lot of municipalities around here use SHACOG. They put out the bid contract earlier this year because we did it last year. We did it and entered into a contract 1 year with option years like we normally do. The vendor notified SHACOG that they were not going to be doing any renewal years. And that I think everyone was mutually agreed that that didn't work out so well last year. So SHACOG put out a new bid this, like a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, and got no bidders. So that was concerning. So they redid their bid specs, perhaps tightening up some of the purchasing requirements or the delivery expectations. And that is out now, and I don't know exactly when it's gonna be open, but it's gonna be open soon through SHACOG. So I will let you know when and if they get bidders this time and then what the options are, so.
okay.
We have a full salt building to start the season, so we're okay at the beginning of the season, but we definitely, everybody wants to have a contract in place to start January 1st. But we're not empty, we're not panicked.
Okay.
Anything else?
Move adjourned.
We talked briefly in the fire company about this, putting out a message board out front of the fire station, electronic message board. So I don't know, I know the township had signed ordinance years ago. What is the requirements and would we be able to?
We have a whole sign ordinance, so we can talk about it. I don't know the answer,
I
but
was just thinking about it, we talked about it, and actually Tony brought it up at our
Need a
last month's
permit.
meeting, wants to know how much it's gonna cost. I said, well, first we gotta go through the township proper channels to make sure that we're allowed to do it.
and like where, there are rules on where it can be located and when the brightness levels. I mean, you're in the mixed use district, which is better. It's not, it's not a residential only district, so that's good, but I have to
Actually,
look
ours
up
is
the.
commercial. Ours is commercial.
It might be your building classification, but your.
The
zoning
district
is
is
District's
mixed use, yeah.
Yeah,
We're commercial, across the street's commercial.
not anymore.
No.
I think once the 2022
2020.
map came through, it changed it to mixed use to encompass certain commercial uses.
What's the purpose of the sign?
Just to alert the community of different events going on. We have a Facebook page. I'm not on Facebook, so I couldn't even tell you what's on there. But just different, everybody seems to have a different social media platform that they
Right.
communicate with. And we thought a sign, we have one of the, kind of what you have here, you can put stuff on like for voting. We wheel it out for Happy 4th of July, Happy 250th. We do that, we do like the open house, wheel it out there for the holidays, Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, whatever. So we thought we could do it, put it in front of the building where nobody has to do, because the wind blows it over. It's an Earl's lot half the time. Because it's plastic, it's a plastic sign on wheels, so you don't know when it catches and it rolls. So we just thought, there's a couple other fire companies that have them, and they're really nice, because they can put different events on it.
You can change it on the roll with your phone, is that?
Yeah, they could do it,
Yeah.
they could do it remote there, so. All right, I will be in Gwen's office tomorrow, finding a.
I was gonna say, if you wanna know what the requirements are, Gwen can find them for you. That's why she's been the manager for 150 years. There we go. You look pretty good for that.
Thank you, thank you.
What's that make you, 182?
That's very nice.
Any other comments? Okay, without further delay, I adjourn the legislative meeting at 7:48. Does that match your
50.
thing?